Hello viewers, this is Kulsum Ahmed and today we are going to learn about monopoly. This is the topic of microeconomics. So let's start with monopoly. Why do monopolies arise? Now first of all, the question comes in our mind, what is monopoly? A monopoly is a situation where a single producer is going to cover the supplies to the market. Fine, so this will be the monopoly. Now the fundamental cause of monopoly is barrier to entry. Means you have monopoly because no other person can come and do the business as you are doing. Means maybe your product is unique, maybe the infrastructure or the raw material that you are using, that is only with you, no other person can have that. Maybe government has given you permission to currently have a control over the production and sales on about certain product. So there could be any reason. So monopoly arises when other people cannot enter into the business and you are having the sole authority to produce and sell into the market structure. So let's do next. Now, what is natural monopoly? A natural monopoly is a type of monopoly that occurs due to high fixed cost and a need to achieve extreme economies of scale. In other words, it is only economically viable for one business to serve the market. So, number one thing, that there is high fixed cost. So the cost is too high that it is very difficult for the producers to come and join the business. The second thing is there requires extreme economies of scale. Means you need to be very efficient in your in all the raw material or in all the factors of production that you are going to use in. And then it is economically good that if we are going to give rights to one single firm to do the production. So you can have the examples of Google, Apple, Facebook and Amazon. So these are the type of this sort of monopoly. Then comes monopsony. Now monopsony is where there is a sole buyer of a product but many sellers. This contrasts with the similarly named monopoly, whereby there is only one seller and many buyers. Fine. So a situation is in monopoly it was that one seller was there and so many buyers were there. But monopsony is a situation where there is sole buyer. Means you are supposed to sell to just single company. So then this situation will be known as monopsony. So Google is an example, Walmart and Microsoft are the examples of monopsony. They are the single buyers. Then comes barrier to entry. Barrier to entry have three sources. The first one is ownership of a key resource. This tends to be rare. De Beers is an example. So the key resource is just with you. No other producer can have that resource. This is why you are having monopoly. So we can have an example. For example, if there is one single mathematics teacher available at your university, we will call it that he has monopoly in that particular subject and in that particular market size. So in this way, the producers can have control over the key resource. Then the government gives a single firm the exclusive right to produce some goods, patents, copyrights and government licensing. So the government is going to allow you, they are going to give you the complete authority that you should be producing that. So when you are supposed to just produce, definitely you will get the monopoly. Then comes cost of production makes a single producer more efficient than a larger number of producers. So it is cost efficient that instead of having so many producers, one single producer is good enough to do to bring in the all the supplies into the market. So this will be happening. Then comes economies of scale as a cause of monopoly. So you people know that average total cost will be high in the beginning and it will be falling down with the passage of time. So this is the uniqueness of monopoly. This is why we call. Now what is the difference between monopoly and competitive firm? Monopoly happens when there is one sole producer and has a downward sloping demand curve, is a price maker, reduces prices to increase sales. So first of all, you are a single producer Number 2, your demand curve should be sloping downward. Number 3, you are price maker, means because you know that how much is the cost of one single commodity. This is why you are going to decide about the price by yourself. Then it reduces prices to increase sales. It happens that you may charge a very nominal price so that your sales should go up. But in competitive firm, you have lot many producers, you have a horizontal demand curve, and you are a price taker because the price is determined by the forces of demand and supply, and you being a single supplier, you can have no effect on the price change in prices. Then sells as much as and little at same price. So it's up to you if you want to supply lot many products or if you want to supply little amount of products. It's up to you. As I gave you the example in my last lecture that agricultural products are the type of competitive firm, and if you people are growing wheat in your crop as a crop, so no matter you're growing wheat on 100 acres or 1 acre or half acre, it's up to you that how much you are going to do the cultivation, and your supplies are going to do nothing with the market prices, because prices of grains or wheat will be determined by the forces of demand and supply. Now you can see in a competitive firm, as I told you in the last slide, that price is equals to average revenue and marginal revenue. Means average revenue is going to be a straight line. No matter how much quantities you are bringing into the market, but your revenue will remain changed. You know the formula of revenue? Price multiplied by quantity. Means if the price is $10 and you are going to sell 100 quantities or you can say 10 quantities into the market, total revenue will be 100. So in monopoly, your revenue was high in the beginning and then it was falling down and down and down. So with every new quantity, the revenue is falling down. So this is the benefit that we will get in monopoly. Now what are the formulas of total revenue? Price into quantity is total revenue. So this is quite obvious. Then average revenue tells you per unit revenue. So total revenue divided by quantity will be average revenue. Fine. So then comes the marginal revenue. Change in total revenue divided by change in quantity will be the marginal revenue. Now change in total revenue means total revenue 2 minus total revenue 1, and change in quantity means Q2 minus Q1. So this will be equal to marginal revenue. And as you know before, that marginal revenue is the change with every additional product, how much revenue we are getting is marginal revenue. So this is the more described formula of that. Then a monopolist marginal revenue is always less than the price of its good. Now this thing you should keep in mind. The price marginal revenue means additional product that you are going to produce. Fine. So for example, your price is $10, but for the production of new item, your cost your revenue is going to be you can say that is less than that. If the price was $10 and the next item is going to give you benefit of $8, so it will be of no benefits because the revenue will be falling. So what should happen? Currently the price should be high and additional revenue should be low. This will be the situation that will motivate you to produce more. Now the demand curve is downward sloping. This is we have discussed before. When a monopoly drops the price to sell one more item unit, the revenue received from previously sold item also decreases. So this is the thing that we know. Now we have quantities from 0 to 8. Then we have prices which are falling with every new product. You know that when a new product comes or a new you can say variety comes into the market, initially it is the prices are very high, but gradually with the production of more and more items, the prices will be falling down. So total revenue formula, you know that price into quantity will be total revenue. So 10 multiplied by 1, 10, 2 multiplied by 9, 18, 3 multiplied by 8, 24. So in this way we are going to get the total revenues. Then we call average revenue. You know the formula of average revenue, that is total revenue divided by quantity will be the average revenue. So total revenue is 10 and quantity is 1. This is why it will be 10. In this way we will be having different average revenues. And then comes marginal revenue. What is marginal revenue? That is change in total revenue divided by change in quantity. So total revenue change is 18 minus 10 will be 8, and 2 minus 1 will be 1. So 8 divided by 1 will be 8. In this way, 24 minus 18 will be 6, and 3 minus 2 will be 1. So 6 divided by 1 will be 6. So in this way we are going to get the marginal revenues. Now we are going to sort out this thing. When monopoly increases its quantity, it has two effects. The first one is output effect. Definitely when you are going to increase quantities, definitely your output will be increasing. And then price effect. You know that with every new item your prices will be falling down. So initially the price was high, you can see that, and gradually it is falling down and down. So you can say on 1 we had 10 price, but on 2 we had 9 price, and on 3 we had 8 price. So with every new item your prices should be falling down. So as I told you before, when initially some new variety comes into the market, initially its price is high, but gradually with the passage of time the prices will be falling down, because the product becomes very common. Every new producer is going to produce that. So in this way it will be common. So but in monopoly, you know that we have single producer. Now we are going to find out about the profits and about the losses. So here you need to just keep in mind few of the things. The first thing, average revenue is falling down. That initially we have done, we know that. Then marginal revenue should be falling more as compared to average revenue. Now this thing you should memorize. Fine. First, how will you draw? First of all, you are going to draw a quantity line, then you are going to draw the price line, then you are going to say that with the production of every new quantity our revenue should be falling down, and then you are going to say that marginal revenue should always be less than average revenue. So now these are the understood things. Then average cost should be U-shaped. This is also understood. And marginal cost should be uprising, means it should be low and then it should be moving up and up. So marginal cost should be uprising. Now here one key point that you have to keep in mind, where MC is going to cut MR, this point is going to be the equilibrium point, or you can say this is the point that we actually are looking for. So here when these two are equal, this sort of quantities you are going to bring into the market, because this is break-even point, this is equilibrium point, and this is the ideal point. And now on this point, what the price is there in the market, this is the price. Fine, this is the price and this is the quantity, and both of the things we have decided by seeing MC is equals to MR. Now I'm sure you are clear. Let's do that. The intersection of marginal revenue curve and the marginal cost curve determines the profit maximization quantity. So as I told you right now, then comes then the demand curve shows the price consistent with this quantity. So as I told you before, the price and quantity is determined by saying MC is equals to MR. Now this is all about the monopoly diagram. If you have memorized it, it means you are good enough to understand. Now profits are equal to total revenue minus total cost. You are quite clear with this. So this is the formula of profit, this is the formula of total revenue divided by quantity minus total cost divided by quantity. Means revenue and quantities are going to be minus. We are going to minus them to get the profit. Either we can have simply total revenue minus total cost, or we can have average revenue minus average cost, or we can say P minus average total cost multiplied by quantity. So in this way we can get to know the profits. So for a competitive firm, price is equal to marginal cost. Means P is equals to MC is equals to MR. Or for monopoly, a firm price exceeds marginal cost. Now here just keep in mind two things. The first thing, MC is equals to MR. Now this was the key point to understand the equilibrium point as well, as I told you in the last slide. Then in competitive firm, MC is equals to MR. On the same grounds, in monopoly, MC is equals to MR. But only one difference is there. Here P is also equal to MC is equals to MR. But here price should be greater than marginal revenue is equals to marginal cost. So this is the difference that you have to memorize. This is the only difference. Okay, then see what is happening here. Again, we are having quantities on this side. we are having prices on this side, our average revenue is falling, our marginal revenue is falling more, our average cost is U-shaped, our marginal cost is moving up. Now this is the basic diagram when you're going to find out the profit or loss. This you should memorize it. Now see, when you want to show the profit, you need to make sure that average revenue line is on the upper side and average cost line is on the lower side. Now if we are going to make the loss diagram, what we will do, average line will be falling in this way and we are going to uprise the average cost. Mean we are going to pick this average cost from here and we are going to keep it over here to get the loss, because in loss average cost should be higher than average revenue, but here because we are going to show the profit, this is why our average revenue is higher than our average cost. So you are quite clear. On B point, as I said, whenever MC is equals to cut MR, this will be the equilibrium point. So let's do that, how it is happening. Now you can see the profit, the difference between average cost and average revenue. Now this area is actually the profit and this is determined by only one point, that was when MC is equals to MR, that this was the equilibrium point, and the difference between average cost and average revenue will be the profit. Now I'm sure you are clear about the profit. Now let's see, here we are going to show the loss. This is average revenue, here should be the marginal revenue, fine, and this is the marginal cost that they have made, and average cost is up from the marginal revenue, average revenue. So see how it is happening. See this, average revenue is low but average cost is higher than that. So this point tells us that we are going to be we are going to have a loss. So this is the loss area that we have determined. So I'm sure that you are able to draw the diagrams. Now let me tell you one thing in this, average revenue is this line and marginal revenue should be this line. That line is missing, but it is understood that it is going to be below than average revenue, fine. Either it is being made in the exam or not, but you should understand it by yourself. How do governments tackle monopoly? Now listen, monopoly is a situation where a single firm has complete control over the supplies of the product into the market. Now see, if that single firm is doing any sort of exploitation, that will mean that this is not in the favor of common customers. So it's better that if government is going to have an eye on the working of monopoly, and government is going to have an eye upon the prices charged by the monopoly. So government will have to be a watchdog for the monopolies. The first thing, government responds to the problem of monopoly in one of the four ways. Making monopolized industries more competitive. So what you will have to do, no matter it is monopoly firm, but what the government should be doing, government should be supporting the firm so that the firm could do the best production and could supply into the market the best of the items, fine. This is why government should take initiative. Then regulating the behavior of monopoly. Now see, as I told you before, that government has to have a check upon the variety produced by the monopoly firm and price charged by the monopoly firm, fine, so that monopolies are not going to behave bad in the economies. Then turning some private monopolies into public enterprises. So if government is going to smell this thing that this firm is doing against the country and the people of the country, so what the government will do, this will be the last action, that they are going to purchase all the shares of the company and they are going to overtake it and it will become a public enterprise, so that the common people may not get any loss from the working of that monopoly firm if monopoly is going against the country laws. So or if the government is satisfied, they will do nothing and they will let the company or organization work. So this is done. Then happens, this was all about my today's lecture. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.